All right, welcome to the Explainer. The moment we've all been waiting for, or at least speculating about, is finally here. OpenAI just dropped GPT-5. So today we're going to cut through all the noise, all the hype, and figure out what's new, what's actually impressive, and what this thing really means for you.
So let's just dive right in with a question on everyone's mind, right? Is GPT-5 the absolute mind-blowing revolution that we were all promised, or is it something else entirely? Well, as we're about to find out, the answer, it's a little complicated.
So let's set the scene. On August 7th, 2025, OpenAI officially flipped a switch on its brand new flagship model, GPT-5. And look, this isn't just another small update. This thing is designed to completely change how millions of us use and think about AI.
And you know, the single biggest change, especially for most people, is just how simple everything's become. I mean, if you've ever felt kind of confused about which version of ChatGPT you're supposed to use, well, this update is for you. OpenAI went for what you could call radical simplification.
Just think back to the old ChatGPT for a second. You had that confusing little drop-down menu, right? And you had to kind of guess, do I need the model for browsing or data analysis or maybe for making an image? Well, all of that, it's gone. Now there's just one option, GPT-5. All those different tools, all those capabilities, they're all baked right into one single model that does the heavy lifting for you.
So how does it pull this off? Well, the secret sauce is something they're calling a hybrid model. Basically, GPT-5 is now smart enough to look at what you're asking and decide for itself which tools it needs. Does it need to check the web? Does it need to run some code? Or does it just need to, think for a few extra seconds to give you a better, more thought-out answer? It makes that call on its own, automatically. And that is a huge leap in just making it easy to use.
And this really is, as the AI Advantage put it, probably the happiest day for a lot of people, especially if you're a free user. Why? Because this is the first time OpenAI is just handing over its absolute best, top-of-the-line model to everybody. That big gap between what free users got and what paid subscribers had, it just got a whole lot smaller.
Okay, so a simpler interface is great, but what can it actually do? What are the new tricks? Well, this new foundation gives GPT-5 some seriously impressive new skills, and it really shows a genuine leap in its overall intelligence.
You know, OpenAI's own analogy here is pretty powerful. They said the jump to GPT-4 was like going from a high schooler to a college student. Okay, but with GPT-5, they're saying it's like having a conversation on demand with a super helpful expert who happens to have a PhD in, well, almost anything you can think of.
And believe me, this isn't just talk. The demos we've seen are pretty incredible. People have shown it building a fully playable 3D castle game from scratch, creating a functional clone of Microsoft Excel, and even simulating and solving a massive 20 by 20 by 20 Rubik's Cube. And the craziest part? A lot of this stuff starts from just a single, detailed instruction.
And these new powers go way beyond just fancy coding tricks. I mean, imagine this. You take a 30-minute video, feed it to the AI, and with one prompt, boom, you get a full blog post, a thread for social media, and a bunch of email hooks. Or you tell it to act like a marketing agent and just watch it autonomously build out an entire campaign plan for you. These are the kinds of practical, day-to-day work skills that have gotten a massive boost here.
And yeah, the numbers back this up. Now, benchmarks aren't the whole story. We all know that. But on some key industry tests for things like coding and visual problem solving, GPT-5 does just edge out its main competitor, Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.1. It might be a photo finish in coding, but it definitely solidifies its spot as the top model out there today.
So, okay, it's powerful. No one's questioning that. But to get the full story, we need a little nuance here. We need the reality check from the AI experts. The power users who live and breathe this stuff every single day.
This quote from tech analyst Matt Wolf really captures a feeling that's been going around among a lot of AI insiders. For them, this jump just didn't feel as revolutionary as the leap from GPT 3.5 to GPT 4. I mean, that was the update that introduced crazy new things like seeing images, stuff nobody had seen before. This time, it felt more like a very, very good incremental step up.
So what exactly were the experts hoping for that wasn't there? Well, a lot of people thought OpenAI's video generator, Sora, would be built right in. Others were looking for huge breakthroughs in how AI agents work together, or maybe some radically new memory features. And there wasn't that single jaw-dropping live demo moment. You remember that time a model saw the world through a phone camera in real time? Yeah, we didn't quite get that.
But despite some of that disappointment, there is one area of massive, undeniable improvement that has impressed even the most skeptical experts. And it's an area that is absolutely critical for the future of AI.
And that area is accuracy. The hallucination rate, that thing where an AI just confidently makes stuff up, has dropped like a rock. We're talking from over 4% in older models to under 1% now. That is a huge leap, and it makes GPT-5 way more trustworthy and reliable. And that's been one of the biggest roadblocks for people really adopting AI. All right, so where does that leave us? What's the final verdict here? We've got the insider's take that it's a solid but incremental update. And then we have the massive leap that pretty much everyone else is experiencing. So what does it all mean? Why does GPT-5 actually matter?
It really boils down to two very different stories playing out at the same time. For the AI insiders, the power users, this is a welcome, powerful, practical upgrade. But for the other 99% of us, especially anyone on the free plan, this is an absolute game changer. Millions of people literally just got the keys to a world-class AI that was completely out of reach just a day ago.
And honestly, that is the real takeaway here. The biggest story isn't just the flashy new features or the benchmark scores. It's the simplification and the democratization of this incredibly powerful tech, making the best model simple, intuitive, and, most importantly, free. That is the real revolution.
So in the end, the release of GPT-5 really shifts the whole conversation. It's not just about what a machine can do anymore. It's about who gets to do it. It's about what millions of newly empowered people are now capable of. So the question isn't just, what can it do? The real question is now for you. What are you going to create?